You are listening to Brawls, Panties, and Sports. This is Spitface. I'm here with the First Lady of Sports Talk, the one and only Cheryl Smith. You know, we got CJ out of Chi-Town, and y'all know it. He's here, the master of disaster, the man with the plan. Himself, live, naked, from that bearskin rug. He had to get in over that boulder wall. You know, he had to come in through the back door, but then he did a side step on him because they didn't get that bearskin rug. It got features. That's right. You know, him and James Bond be hanging out and stuff. And we got the Shimmy Shake girls in our panel. Check out the music this week on Shout Out. We are featured Tommion Waylee. I know, that's what I said. Tommion Waylee. I don't know what kind of name that is. Will he find his shining star, get the whole feel of the mute button? Now, it is time for our old school giggle. I'm just kind of wondering, is it old school or is it just really just a giggle? Let's check it on out.
Couldn't have been nicer, right? So I was like putting the mic in her face, and I said, Angie, you are, the most beautiful wife of anybody on the New York, what is he, the Giant? Whatever. All right, so, some team where all the guys beat their wives. I'm sorry. Kobe is 100% innocent. How dare you? All right, you know what I heard about the Kobe case? I heard this from Greta Van Susteren, although she said it was a rumor. Oh, shit, I shouldn't have said that. Her and the whole Scientology posse will fucking have to kill on the way home. Sorry, Scientology, I'm covered in body thetans right now. I'm an alien! What a bunch of fucking freaks. Isn't Scientology one of those things where you really like someone, and then once you leave for a Scientologist, you're like, I'm out? You know? So, well, you don't want to say it, you don't really want to piss them off, because they do kill people somewhere in the South.
I guess that does qualify for old school giggle, a little Kathy Griffin. All right, now, I think it's time. Oh, you know what? First Lady, we're ready. What you say?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Or they try to tell us something, so we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdie known as Lala is looking to flap her wings far, and I mean real far, away from Carmelo Anthony. But should Carmelo, the mellow fellow, consider flapping his wings away from Phil Jackson's New York Knicks and finally play on a team that can contend for a championship? The future of the franchise would not even participate in an exit interview. Is this a huge mess considering none of the players want to play the triangle? And no, did I say no, big name stars want to play in New York. Has Phil Jackson officially tarnished his image as a genius and a true NBA guru? Roger Staubach, Don Meredith, Troy Aikman, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Well, I'm not too sure why Roger Staubach and Don Meredith and Troy Aikman are talking about the New York Knicks. They should be talking about the Dallas Cowboys. But anyway, let's just get back to the subject.
Even they want to weigh in.
I know everybody wants to talk about this situation.
They say, hey, look, we want to get in on this one.
Look. The mellow fellow, well, let's just put it that way. He wasn't too mellow when he allegedly, and I'm going to say allegedly, but it's sure looking that way, of getting a stripper pregnant. Are you kidding me? Damn, Carmella. You and Kabbalah. Now, they were my favorite NBA couple. I just can't believe he would stoop to that low to lovely Lala Vasquez Anthony. Give me a break, Carmella. I mean, I don't even know what you're doing. I mean, these players and these strippers, I mean, what is going on with strippers and players? Guys, just go and put some money in their panties and let them alone. But you don't even got to get them pregnant. Give me a break, Carmella. You can do better than that. But anyway, LeBron, Dwayne Wayne, CP3, and Melo. Now, you know the four of them and their wives are very tight. That's a tight crew. That's tighter than the bras, panties, and sports crew. I wonder who will now be on the banana boat later on this summer. Because you know they always go on vacation together. So that is going to be an interesting situation. Hang in there, Lala. We with you. We with you. But let me just get back to the basketball. Carmelo, he just needs to move on from the Knicks. I mean, really. He just got to waive his no-trade contract. He needs to give the Knicks a list of teams. And they just need to try to find the best situation for Carmelo because for him to be on the Knicks again next year, to go through the dreadful season that they're going through with him, as Phil likes to say, we not winning with him, so let's try to win without him. And you don't want to know something? I agree with Phil, even though I can't stand the fact that the owner of the Knicks had the nerve to give him another, to accept his contract again for 2 more years. They had an out clause that they could have just said walk away from Phil Jackson, but they didn't want to do that. James Dolan, I mean, he's just the worst owner in all of sports. But in fact that now we're stuck with Phil Jackson for 2 more years, he and Carmella cannot exist for another season. So it's time for Carmella to go. And as far as Porzingis, Kristaps Porzingis, he dicks his exit interviews, but he said, I don't even want to deal with this situation because, he's very good close friends with Carmella. He's not happy with the fact the way the Knicks have been treating Carmella and particularly Phil Jackson. So, the neophyte, he was definitely upset, but he did say recently that he loves being a New York Knicks, so he has no choice to come back because he's still under contract. The question is, what will happen when his contract expires in a couple of years to see if he does resign with the Knicks. And the guru, hell yeah, his image is definitely tarnished because he's not a guru as a vice president, or whatever his title is. He stinks, and I said it, yes, he stinks as a leader of men as far as leading the New York Knicks because he hasn't led them to nothing but bad records. Even without Phil Jackson, the Knicks were at least going to the playoffs a couple of years that Carmelo was there. They have missed the playoffs for the past 3 years since Phil Jackson has taken over. Oh my gosh, it is just so sad. I mean, I am very depressed as a New York Knicks team. But the fact that, Phil is still there, you can forget, or we can forget as a fan, of getting any big-name free agents, because we won't get any big-name free agents, because nobody wants to play the triangle offense. I mean, that's such an antiquated system. Everybody's doing pick and roll, pick and pop. So why are they going to play the triangle? Nobody wants to play the triangle, so you forget about any big-name players coming to the Knicks. So, it may not be a bad idea, because maybe they can finally start to do what other teams do who are successful, and that's build through the draft. They have in the past been giving up their draft picks. So this year they got their draft pick. They'll have several draft picks in the future. And trust me, they're going to be using those draft picks because they will be in the lottery for the next couple of years under Phil Jackson. That's such a mouthful, but I swear I just get so disgusted when I talk about my Knicks. CJ, I know you're a Chicago fan, but what are you thinking about the Knicks?
Only thing I can just say is you're right. That's all I can say.
That's all the heck you want to say about the Knicks. I don't blame you either, CJ. So you said I'm right. Okay.
It's amen. I'm proud of you in the choir because it's just true. And I don't know why he did it either. Not for a stripper.
I'll tell you. All right. Dizzy Mac.
Yeah, Dizzy Mac, you have to say something because I'm just...
You got to give us a man's perspective of this situation with Carmella Anthony. And what is the power of a stripper? I just don't understand this. Tell me, Dizzy Mac.
I'm in love with a stripper. I'm in love with a stripper. Hey,
right.
never trust a man. Never trust a big butt and a smile. She got the shimmy and shaking all up in Carmelo's face, and Carmelo turned it over and just lost his damn mind. Carmelo just lost his damn mind. He didn't wrap it up. It felt like this. He reached for it. He reached for it, and then she just pulled his hand back and said, "No, you going raw dog, dog. You going raw dog." Carmelo went raw dog. He went 1-on-1 and lost. He got a little bun in the oven. So, yeah, Lala was pissed. And she got a right to be pissed. How you just gonna come home and lay with me at the lamp with a stripper? Carmelo, tisk, tisk, tisk. Now, I gotta make Lala a shimmy shake girl. But that's okay. We got room on the bed, got room for Lala. Come on over here, girl. Carmelo doesn't know what to do with you. He turns you over. And there goes Dizzy Mac, scooping you up. Now that's what I'm talking about. A fair trade. Hey, but you know, hey, it happens all the time with these guys. You know, you're having a bad season. One of your homies say, "Let's go out and party. Let's throw some bands around. Let's make it rain." Yeah. The only thing Carmelo forgot to do was bring the bring the prophylactic and put it on. But now somebody's gonna get rich. Somebody's gonna get rich, and it ain't gonna be Lala. Lala just gonna be stepmama. You know,
hey,
stepmama.
You're already rich.
Hey, but Phil Jackson is just a bumbling idiot. A bumbling idiot as a vice president. He should have stayed retired. See, he done made Carmelo part of his club. You know, Phil done lost Jeannie Buss. Jeannie was like, "Hey, screw you. You stay out there in New York. Let me have L.A., the fun and the sun. We can win without the train. We got magic on our side." And hey, I don't blame the Dallas Cowboys for trying to see what's going on. Because again, it kind of gives them an idea of what's going on with the New York Giants. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, Phil's tarnished he's tarnished his legacy. You know, hey, coach, great coach. Front office, not so great. Not so great at all, First Lady.
Okay. Spitface, what you say?
I will say this, but wasn't there a song called Gold Digger?
You ain't messing with no broke gold digger, okay.
Wasn't there a sound? So I guess Carmelo didn't get the memo. But I put it like this. Carmelo, flap them wings, get the hell up out of New York. You might have a chance to get Lala back. Because you need to get that. The karma is just ain't waking in New York right now. So, and you know Phil Jackson all about the karma. And see, I don't know what kind of karma he done got, but it's funky. And I am not talking about James Brown kind of funky. It ain't no good time going on. That just ain't happening, you know. Now, now to deal with Christoph, he got pissed off. So that's what happened there. Christoph just got pissed off. He said, "Nah, dog, I ain't got nothing to say with this, you know. I'm just trying to, I'm just here because they told me." That's his line. I'm just here not to get fired. Let me roll on here. And, when your own players don't want to play your system, how you gonna get somebody else to come in? Oh, your own players don't want to play your system, but see, I'm gonna like it, and hell no, you ain't coming to that team. They ain't got enough money to overpay people. Well, no, I take that back, because they could pay Dwight Howard. They got enough money to pay Dwight. Dwight Howard take the money, But that's a whole nother subject. And I will say this. It does start to appear that you can't deny the stats. Phil Jackson got the rings, but you start to really wonder, was it really that, hey, he had enough karma to get outrageous superstars? So, you know, but hey, you know, when you got the stats, you got the stats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Well,
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass, go boom, explode, boom, overpower, over the competition of power. Reconcile. I drop these lyrics that
make you call the cops.
Don't you dare stare. You better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that'll all get sliced and diced. Competition, pay the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We are not talking about Jenny Thompson, Tara, Dara Torres, or Kristen Otto. We're talking about the knockout punch landed on the Chicago Blackhawks by the Predators. Man, whoo, bam. Bye-bye, Blackhawks, bye-bye. It is rare. I mean rare that a number 8 seed defeats a number 1 seed. You know, any sport, with that kind of seed, that is rare. It happened. But obviously, that's what happened to the Blackhawks. Now, the shame of it all, the shame. And that's, shame because I'm a Blackhawks fan. Until the Predators go over there, we ain't got no shame. We whoop their ass, but I'm a Blackhawks fan, so it's the shame. On the flip side of things, the Chicago Bulls look like they could land a knockout punch against the number 1 seed Boston Celtics until dun, 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 a fractured thumb may have possibly landed a knockout punch on Rajon Rondo. Which would be the bigger upset, the Bulls beating the Celtics and moving on, or the Predators sweeping the Blackhawks? Pam Grier, Lola Falana, and Iman are asking what you think. Now, as I said, the being swept in the first round when you the number 1 against the number 8 in any sport is like big news. But I have to say that the Bulls beating the Celtics is bigger, and it's simply bigger because NBA is more popular than hockey. That's right. Okay, all y'all hockey people, I know y'all got stick. Y'all ready to come down and protest and do all of that. Nope.
Right.
Now I told you, I'm a Blackhawk fan, but you gotta face facts. And the facts is NBA more popular than your sport at the moment. So the impact ain't the same. Now that's just how I go. Now do the math. If you don't like doing the math, you can go to Miss McKinney's 4th grade math class. Let me tell you, she was rough too. She not two, and come up with 12. So go learn that. Now, but I will say this, that I'm like Rajon. Rajon, that's a bad boy. And I don't know what it is, but I think he done found his team. And that's to the betterment of the Chicago. I think he done found his team. The Chicago Bulls, and they done found him. So, if there's a way the brother can play, hey, but I think the future might be getting a little bit good for the Chicago Bulls. Dizzy Mac, talking smack.
Hey, what can I say? Still with the Blackhawks, look like turkeys. They were out there Rondo, getting that money. He's going to get that money. He's going to get that money. He's going to stay. Drew Butler's going to stay. Wayne Wade's going to stay. We're going to make sure they stay together because Rondo came out looking like the Rondo of old. Still can't shoot a jumper. But he can go to the hole. He can pass the ball. He can be smart. Yeah. Let's just face it. Isaiah Thomas is just not in it. Understandably so. Understand. Much condolences to him and his family. But hey, they're not going to fold. They're going to hold. Unlike the Blackhawks, who folded. I mean, they got whooped. They got beat down. I mean, they look like a bunch of little 8-year-olds getting whooped on the ice skating rink by Gordie Howe. Slapped up, tapped up, and tapped out. But hey, the Bulls are going to go all the way and be an 8 seed that beats a 1 seed. It's not going to be as dramatic as we think it's going to be. But 4 games to 2. Watch the Bullies bring it home to Chicago. And watch. Jimmy Butler, Dwayne Wade, Rondo, they're going to be chilling with the Shimmy Shakers and me off the bearskin rug. We're going to be kicking our feet up. I'm about to convince Jimmy Butler to get a haircut, though. All the twigs in his head. But that's all right. It's Chicago. What better town? CJ, don't be looking at this bearskin rug. I see you. Go ahead and rub his head. Go ahead and rub his head, CJ.
Give a little rub there. Well, I think that the Blackhawks they said, we don't care this year. We tired. We made the money.
We tired. They so played like they was tired.
Let's have a rest. Let somebody else win for a change. Having to have those parades and stuff after the game, after the season. Everybody else is relaxing, and we've been playing for the last 5-6 years. Doing it hard. Let somebody else win for a minute or two. You see they weren't too upset when they lost. You see any tears? They said, we've done it. We've had the cup. How many times now? Let somebody else go that stuff go around. Go to all those meetings. You need a year off. We'll do it next year. Next year. And as far as the Bulls concerned, they can beat everybody but losers and scrubs. So therefore, they're either going to do it or they're not going to do it. We just depending on how many more events are we going to have in Chicago that will allow them to want to stay here. We keep opening up better restaurants. They'll be still running around here trying to stay around. Otherwise, they'll look for someplace else to go. We're the best city, the best partying city, and can lose and still have fun. And get paid? Please. What is there not to love? We always say next year. Next year. We'll try better. Next year.
You know something? I have 3 people here. You guys are from Chicago, right?
Yeah.
You lived in Chicago now. I understand that we are not that much of hockey fans on Bras, Panties, and Sports. We rarely talk about hockey.
You're not?
I know I'm no hockey fan. I'm a sports fan, but, of all the 3 sports, like Spitface said, nobody cares about hockey. But when you look at what's going on with the Blackhawks, you have to say that was much bigger of an upset than the Bulls upsetting the Celtics. Because, number one, the Blackhawks, they have so much rich tradition in hockey. Come on now, we talking about a big franchise.
Right.
They won 3 Stanley Cups in the 21st century, 2010, 2013, 2015. And the Predators, Nashville Predators, is relatively a new team. So they don't have the same history and cachet as the Blackhawks.
Now,
It's almost like David beating Goliath, because the Blackhawks were Goliath. So to me, that is so much a bigger upset. I mean, to be swept in the first round. Come on now. We all know that the Bulls, we're not talking about Michael Jordan Bulls. I mean, we're far from talking about Michael Jordan Bulls. But the Bulls-Celtics series, it really had two major issues and two major events that really has changed the course of this series. Because number one, the death of Isaiah Thomas' sister, and he has our condolences and everything. But that to me just sucked the energy out the Celtics. So to me it was expected the Bulls to take advantage of the situation for them to win those first two games. But I'm going to tell you something. With Rajon Rondo gone from the Bulls, I don't even think now the Bulls are going to win the series, because I think the Celtics will come back. The Bulls looked terrible when they got, terrible, was it yesterday? Or day before yesterday when they lost. They really looked bad without Rajon Rondo. So to be honest with you, I don't even think it's going to be a situation where the Bulls will beat the Celtics in the first round. I think the Celtics will be able to recuperate, and they're going to win. So but I still think the hockey situation is much more a bigger upset than the Bulls beating the Celtics.
And wait till next year.
All right.
I have to wait till next year for everybody for the Chicago team.
All right, First Lady, take us to break.
The first two listeners to email us or send a shout-out why the three ladies are grouped together will receive a $25 gift card from our partners at NFLshop.com and a $25 gift card from our new partners, Victoria's Secret. Now, your hint has, let's just put it this way, they do more in a swimsuit than look good. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Tommion Waylee on the first part of Shout-Out.
Hey, I'm still trying to figure out what a Tommion and a Waylee is. The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout-out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Tommion Waylee.
On Shout-Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout-out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. As we said, today we have Tommion Waylee with his album, Space Cakes. All right, DJ, let's hear Homie Friend. My homie friend? Homie friend. Homie, don't play that. Okay. DJ, hit it.
Just to be small again. La 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 la. Just to be sure you is all. Just kick your shoes off, let me see those pretty toes. I'll keep you warm, you already know. My amigo, you ain't gotta stay out in the cold. You should already know. I make my move and lay down. So la la
That was Tommion Waylee with Homie Friend. I think we need to go to the panel to see what they felt about Tommion Waylee. CJ,
did I have my hookah tight?
Song?
I needed my hookah, didn't I? With some silver chip flippers or something for my teeth. Just a little instrument there, wasn't he?
Uh-huh. So you going to shout it out or you going to hit the mute button?
I'm going to mute him.
Quickly, huh? Okay. Spitface, what did you think of Homie Friend?
Well, thank goodness I didn't think. I thought it was great that it was short, and I didn't have to listen to more of that crap. And I'm gonna put it like this: the only group that got away with the synthesized voice is Zap.
That's right.
Now, ever since they the only one, because they the only ones who just could do it. They, as they say, is more art than science. And my man, Waylee was using too much science and not enough, and not enough art. Because the art was not there. There was like no art. And thank goodness he made sure that there was not a lot of the no art for us to listen to. I'm about to say, praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus. that it did go another second. You did ask. Mute button.
Of course. I agree with 100% what you just said, because that was surely a poor example of Roger Zapp's and the synthesizer. And his album's called Space Cakes. Well, that sounds like it needed to be put in space. So anyway, we'll see what Mr. Tommion Waylee will have in part 2 of Shout Out, because, he will have another performance, and hopefully he can redeem himself in part 2 of Shout Out. Now, I ain't know if my favorite underwater friend, he might stay underwater after listening to that. Is it the sound of my favorite underwater friend? Is it time for flipping?
All right, it's time for Flip It, where our hosts defend the view and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. Russell Westbrook has had an outstanding season, but it looks like the Rockets are prepared to send him and the Oklahoma City Thunder fishing. Now, because it ain't over yet, the Thunder pulled off a big win, but if the Thunder loses this series, many will say that it's Westbrook's fault for not doing what? Trusting his teammates. We wonder what the panel says. Is it Westbrook's fault or his supporting cast? We asked the panel to defend. Westbrook is a triple-double champ. Unfortunately, that hurt the team because his teammates, it's his fault, not trusted the team. Now, I have looked at this situation from the left and from the right, and see, there used to be a time for a player like Russell Westbrook. Great, fantastic. But see, they got another thing that we knew from growing up on, on them courts. It's called ball hog. It's called ball hog. I'm going to do everything, And, Now, one of the things is great players learn that they got to make the players around them great. Can't do it by yourself. And all them triple doubles is nice, but ain't nobody been upgraded. And I put that on the coach, and I put it on Russell Westbrook. See, I'm gonna spread some of that blame, coach. Russell Westbrook. Now, I understand Coach scared of Russell Westbrook. You ever seen Russell Westbrook go down that court? I'd be like, look, nah, you come on, I got something for you. That boy be looking rough, He be mean. He be serious business. So I understand the coach might be looking at him going, well, I ain't really gonna say too much, Russell, do your thing, But they gonna have to do something. And Russell Westbrook is either gonna have to step up to the plate, or he's going to have to go on another team. CJ, it's Westbrook's fault, defending.
It's Westbrook's fault. He doesn't have his little buddy Durant. Okay. He's all alone out there. He's trying to be a teammate, but he's trying to be a person for individual games. You can't be that close to a record and not try to make it. I just don't see how he can do it. Ball hog, sometimes, but who gives him the ball? He can't be bringing it in all the time. Somebody has to be handing it to him. He's playing to win. And he takes every opportunity. Every teammate that has his hands on the ball, I believe, has an opportunity to score and win. But they rather blame it on him. It's easier. They want to take the cake and eat it. But if it doesn't taste good, they want to throw it back into his face. That's all I can say. Because he's playing with his heart and soul. He's the person who's had the most possessions of a ball ever in the game. Ever. Somebody's got to be giving it to you. And for the coach to say, no, it's his fault, no, it's their fault. You're on the floor together. And the main thing is to win. And I see him trying. That Westbrook character, he's diving, he's moving, he's here, he's there. He's like a little ant, a little fly, he's everywhere. But what about his teams? Are they playing with the same tenacity? Or are they just choking and throwing the ball to him because they get scared when somebody starts getting in their face? Maybe I didn't watch the same game. But they looked a little less energetic to me. You say that's the trust part? Okay. It's not fun losing.
All right, you heard the defense from CJ, but First Lady, it's Westbrook's fault. Ball.
Yeah, it's Westbrook's fault. I mean, Westbrook has changed. He's changed the style of the OKC Thunder because of his quest for triple-doubles. It's all about his scoring, all about the assists, all about the rebounds. I mean, it has contributed to the fact that his bigs, the OKC bigs, they don't rebound the ball anymore because they leave the rebounds for Russell Westbrook. I mean, the Rockets out-rebounded the OKC Thunder 41-56 in the first game. I mean, what's going on with the bigs for the OKC Thunder? That's because they just matadoring the rebounds to Russell Westbrook. The team, they don't run plays. The offenses give the ball to Westbrook and let him decide the outcome. So if he's going to take on all this responsibility, then guess what? It's going to fall on his shoulder because he is to blame. He is the dictator of the offense in every capacity. Every capacity. He dictates everything. He's a dictator. Like some of these people running countries. It's all about him. It's all about Westbrook. So it's about him being to blame. Yes, it's his fault. Nobody else's fault. It's Russell Westbrook's fault because the buck stopped with him.
All right, you heard it. All right, you heard the first side, but this is flipping where we flip the script. Now, on the flip side, with a supporting cast like his, better to trust your pet dog to watch your steak dinner. I don't know. Because looking at his supporting cast, one of the things is that when you are a great player, you make others around you great. But see, there's a caveat called in that the other players got enough talent to be risen to be great. And ain't none. Did I say none? Let me repeat myself. None of them done shown that they got the capacity. Well, no. He got one person on the team who may have a little something in him. But everyone else has proven that they can rise a little bit, but not enough where they can demand. And see, that's the thing. When Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, because they get a lot of credit for making everybody greater around them, well, they had people who stepped up when you were making them great, who demanded the ball from Michael Jordan. And Michael said, you know what? I got to get them in the game. I got to, And, hey, I'm willing to give up I'm going to get mine. You know what, guys? And see what Michael Jordan did was he figured out that, you know what? I'll let y'all do 2.5 quarters a week, and I'll do 1.5 quarters of being outstanding. And now everybody playing. So he said, man, y'all go out there, y'all, beat them up, do this and stuff. I'm doing my thing now, okay, like that. But now I'm just saving myself because when we get into the mid of the third period and the fourth, it's my time. And see, Russell Westbrook ain't figured that out. And his coach ain't figured it out. But fortunately, there is an off season. They might be able to make a trade or two. CJ, you trusting that pet dog to watch your steak dinner better than his supporting cat?
Well, that's what I was trying to say earlier. That he needs a supporting cast. He can't do it all by himself. And that suggestion of maybe him trying to lay off and let them do something for the first half might work. But then they'll lose because they don't have the enthusiasm. They're not bringing in their all to the game. That's all I can say. They got to try. It's easier to blame him. Yes, he's a little anxious. And he wants to do it. But like you said, next year, we'll see. Okay, I'm still rooting for him. Don't get me wrong. I am. I'm still rooting for him. But I just have to be realistic as well.
Okay, you heard the defense of CJ, First Lady.
Well, when Russell Westbrook, when he has a triple-double, usually OKC will win the game. He had 42 triple-double, and their record was 33-9 in the regular season. So he needs to average a triple-double for this team to win. And it's not his fault. It is definitely not Westbrook's fault. The fault relies on his teammates. I mean, people get upset because Russell Westbrook likes to take over the game, and it seems like they say he doesn't get his teammates involved. But that's not true. He always passes this to his teammates. But they just can't knock down shots. That's the problem. Like you said, Spitface, maybe they lack talent. And Russell Westbrook is on an island by himself. I mean, they're scared to shoot sometimes. They'll give him the ball back. He's just standing there. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He can't trust his teammates. He just can't trust them. He needs to be like Mike LeBron and Kobe in their younger age, in their early years. If you remember, in their early years, they didn't trust their teammates either. And what do? They take the game over. They do it by themselves. Well, that's what Westbrook needs to do, and that's what he's been doing. He has to do it by himself. If he wins, great. If he doesn't win, hey, he tried. And that's all you can do when you have teammates that can't help you, is try.
Very well.
And on that note, First Lady, take us to break.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2.
Bye.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the funnies. Spitface, take it away.
All right, First Lady, I think we have something interesting for you and CJ. Pot Dispensaries Museum adds a 16-foot-long joint. An Oregon marijuana store celebrated the cannabis-themed 420 holiday by adding a 16-foot joint to its unofficial joint museum. Carly Hart, manager of Canna Royal in Veneta, said she and her staff were assisted by some customers enrolling a 16-foot joint to be displayed inside the store for Thursday's marijuana smoking celebration. Getting customers involved so that I'm not just a drive-by, you know. I want to be a destination. Going to be a destination with a 16-foot joint hanging out. The inside of the store features a joint museum with rolled cigarettes, including the 16-foot monster, unusually shaped joint sculptures, and a 24-karat gold joint.
Wow.
I think that joint rolling is a lost art. There's stories with every one of these, and that's what makes it cool. Hart said the joints on display are rolled with oregano instead of marijuana for legal and safety reasons. Because I know it was the folks right there. Their mouth was watering. They were going to see if they could buy that 16-foot joint. Okay. But now we know, gosh darn, the water is splashing on you. It must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time for Flip It, where our hosts flip the script and defend both sides of the view. Dana White, you know Dana White. She's the president of the UFC, and she is about that money. She is hammering out a deal with Conor McGregor. You know Conor, to fight who? Who else? Who's there to fight? Who got some money? Mayweather. And all indications look like the money, dollar bill, y'all, and I mean a couple $100 million is on the table. Now, I know money with Mayweather, $100 million. You know, his little ears start perking up a little bit. He liked that kind of money. Are boxing and UFC fans about to be the ones knocked out by this staged event? Is this a great fight or a great ripoff? Panel defend. In the words of P.T. Barnum, there's a sucker born every minute. This is a great fight for those who getting paid. And in this case, those getting paid is Money Mayweather, Conor McGregor, the UFC, whatever boxing group that that Mayweather share his money with, and cable TV, pay-per-view, the sponsors, all of them. It's a great fight because they about to get paid. But the suckers who putting out the money are about to be severely disappointed. They are about to be severely disappointed. Because they going to go, you know what? man, I want to see if a UFC boxer, because, Ultimate Fighters, okay, hey, what can they do in the ring? Not really getting that, as someone said, boxing is the sweet science. Boxing, you score a point. You ain't got to knock somebody out. You just hit them enough times and get enough points, and you win the match. And you got some would say the greatest counterpuncher ever in boxing. What McGregor gonna do? Except get tap, 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 tap. Oh, it'll be a long, boring fight. With McGregor getting frustrated, because he can't, throw a shoulder, ankle, elbow and all of that. And he may mess around and get knocked out. But I don't get that money. Mayweather will even break a sweat. This is, like I said, it's a great fight for Money Mayweather. Obviously, it's a great fight for Dana. I like Dana's style. Get that money, girl. Get that money. CJ, defend.
Yes. Well, Conor McGregor is just some eye candy, but Mayweather is the best eye candy you can see. So that could be interesting to see on the television. The two little bodies all there, nice listening together. So that could bring in a few little bucks, like you said. But I don't see Mayweather fighting this McGregor on the UFC rules, that anything goes stuff. You say like it's a sweet science. That's the only way that I think that Mayweather would fight him. But I don't want to see Conor fighting Mayweather in a boxing match and winning and taking over the title on a fluke. Like something just surprisingly happened and Mayweather just lost his being and all of a sudden he just lost the match. It could happen. And in something like this where he could lose to someone like a Conor McGregor in the UFC, which is not even they say that it is now a sport, I guess, right? There are people who actually vouch for this. And they don't have any rules in this UFC, right? Isn't that the same one where they take and punch? Okay. Well, I think it is. So Mayweather wouldn't be able to street fight. And if he did something dirty to him and hurt him, he'd just leave him just awful. So, like you said, it would be nice for money. Pay-per-view is going to make a lot of money. I just don't want to see boxing and its institutions and having the champion of Mayweather lost to just a fluke or a promotional gimmick of marketing to bring these two together. So it just seems to me like they're just trying to get rid of boxing. So there's always a sucker born every day, like you said, but there's always that great fight. And that was one of the things about boxing. It was a great fight. You got to see people do some finesse, some moves, some here, some there. Are we really going to get that with Conor and Mayweather? The knockout would be great, but would it be in 5 minutes or 7? You never can tell. And for my money, for $50.95, I'm not going to do it. I'll wait till it comes on HBO 4 months later and watch it.
Good.
All right, first lady, just being.
For $50.99, you were not going to see that fight because it's going to cost more than $50.99. And the boxing fans, they've been hoodwinked so much. I mean, with hoodwinked, especially when it comes to Mayweather fights, including me. So I'm not even going to exclude myself from the situation because I purchased the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, and I was very disappointed that fight did not live up to the hype. However, I am not going to be a sucker punch to buy the Mayweather-McGregor fight. That is for sure. I'm with you on that, CJ. I'll be watching it on HBO when it comes on. this fight will be more for the MMA fans than it would be for true boxing fans, because the fight is going to be lopsided. It's not going to be an MMA style fight. It is going to be an actual boxing fight. And CJ, you don't have to worry about Mayweather losing his title, because it's only going to be exhibition. I don't think any titles are going to be up for McGregor to win or anything like that. But this fight is for a MMA fan. It's not for a true boxing fan. I mean, how can McGregor beat Mayweather? He's not a bona fide boxer like Mayweather. I mean, as you said, Mayweather is the best counter puncher in the world. And all I can see him now is ducking and dodging punches from a non-boxer. And that's McGregor. McGregor can't box. Yeah, he can box when it comes to MMA, but we're talking about true professional boxer that he's going to be going up against. This will be Mayweather's easiest payday. And it's going to be an easy payday for everybody around. You're right, Spitface, because everybody is going to make money except for the fans. We just need to stay away from this fight. And I just can't see true people that are boxing fans even wanting to watch the fight. We'll just wait till the results come on TV. We'll see it on ESPN.
All right. Now, you know this is Flip It. You heard the strong arguments, but guess what? We flipped the script and defend the opposing view. This is an opportunity for both boxing and the UFC to raise the profile of both sports. Regardless of the winner, it will be a great fight. You know, I'm looking at this, and one thing is that there's a perception that boxing, well, no, not really a perception, but boxing has had a decline since its glory days. So that's just how it is. Boxing has had that decline. And unfortunately, boxing's greatest star over the last several years, it does not fight in the kind of style that really generates a lot of excitement, because he's a great counterpuncher. You know, Money Mayweather is not about knocking folks out. So he doesn't have that excitement that tends. And because of the way that he strategized his win and who he would fight, that kind of that in itself, I would say, kind of helped in the decline. And younger audiences who were not traditional boxing aficionados, they watch the UFC, MMA. And there is a overwhelming perception with that group that if a UFC MMA artist, you know, that went up against a boxer in a true boxing match, that because you got to be an expert at all these techniques, they would beat the professional boxer. They beat the skilled boxer. And that is a huge perception. Now, Money Mayweather and Conor McGregor, they go the distance. Win or lose, both sports win. And it will be considered a great fight. One, because if Conor McGregor does not get knocked out by Money Mayweather, then he proves that a UFC champ can hang with a boxing champ. Money Mayweather in boxing wins because they can prove that a champion boxer can go the distance with a champion UFC. See, it's a win-win for both of them. CJ, defend.
The promotion of taking this UFC to the boxing match is like the progression, like you said, of the young people. They're into that UFC and MMA. They're not too much into the old school of boxing. So this is a perfect platform for them to do that. And I just think that it's another opportunity for them to kind of break down the rules and regulations of boxing and make it more profitable to beat up on people. You know, the money's not the problem. There's lots of money to be spent and made there. You know, I've heard that it's $1 million business watching those little MMAs, and they say they really hit each other, so they're hurting each other. And with head injuries as bad as they can get in boxing, I guess the protection that they're using is okay, but I just can't see them competing with a Merriweather in the same arena, I guess. I guess I feel that UFC and MMAs are like the background or backyard version of boxing. And with a little tinge of wrestling thrown in there, I guess, you know, to make it a superhero sport where everybody can do it. Boxing was something that everyone couldn't do. It takes that discipline and training to be able to have a good performance in the ring, which we haven't really seen too much of, and is not being promoted, as far as I'm concerned, as much as it was last century. So for me, you know, everybody will get paid. I'm just sad to see that another sport is being examined to readjust its standards, or its, I don't know how to put it, how to incorporate the masses' appeal at the same time of changing a tradition. Does that make sense?
I don't know, but First Lady, defend.
Well, you know, the MMA is so popular. I mean, my son wants to be an MMA boxer, and he really wasn't into sports, but he loves his MMA, and it's been more popular than boxing. So regarding profiles, it is not the MMA's profile that needs to be raised. It's boxing's profile that needs to be raised. I mean, most of the biggest fights for the last few years really have been MMA with Ronda Rousey and McGregor fights. You know, boxing has really suffered from a big event. I mean, the last big event was the Mayweather-Pacquiao, and that, you know, fizzled out because Pacquiao was so incompetent. And, you know, Mayweather, like you said, Spitface, he has a boring style. So it's nothing exciting about boxing anymore. So maybe bringing together MMA and boxing does add some excitement. I mean, boxing, like I said, is so boring over the years. I mean, it can add some excitement to it. So if McGregor can match up with Mayweather, who knows? It needs excitement. Boxing is definitely not where it used to be. I mean, my gosh, the Muhammad Ali days, even George Foreman days, Mike Tyson. I mean, those used to be big events that people talk about. I don't even know what people talking about now. I mean, do you know who the heavyweight champion of the world is? I mean, that used to be such an iconic person. Everybody knew who the heavyweight champion of the world is. Nobody knows. Who is it? I don't even know. My goodness. Boxing needs excitement. It needs something. It really does. So if the MMA can do it, more power to them. But I'm not going to be a sucker.
First Lady, take us to break.
The other side of the break, we have another performance from Tommion Waylee on Shout Out. Please stay tuned. Not gonna be.
You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2, the picks, and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the First Lady and the crew. First Lady, over to you.
We have another performance from Tommion Waylee with his album Space Cakes. All right, DJ, let's hear our vocals.
400 milligrams, I'll try to get lit if I can. You can't try to stop me. I might analog your son. Oh, yeah. You remind me of an antique floppy. You got me. You wish it could stop me. You must be having supervision off the blunt. What up? So much green dope in the trunk. When she consume my astronaut kids while she was sniffing lines. We would sway high, yeah, man. Ratio, golden ratio, dry egos, desert storm. Her booty print was left on my desk in my oval global office. Tiny helices blowing in the wind from the dope that I be smoking. From the white noise that them gray aliens be coping. Squeeze the gray gun flame. Frequent pressure of great dames. FM/PM, I'm gonna stay. 400 milligrams, I'll try to get lit if I can. You can't try to stop me. I might analog your son. Oh, yeah. You remind me of an antique floppy. You got me. You wish it could stop me. Youngins hoping for a better tomorrow. Pestering me prolific for smokes tomorrow. Man hair scroll from my chin. Stuck ain't got no time for random joking. Let's just win stinky dope. Spider windows open. Throwing eyeballs in motion. Abstract mind loses no focus. On the block, gun reopen. Go jump in the garbage can, the lid's open. Yeah, back to reflect the current event. Well, click but shorty, time was lit. Clip past compacted cities. Grid arch atmosphere, calm nights I want you near. Spent the in the ghettos. Have no fear. Block statements. I'm on her body like a icicle slope. On the program with your auxiliary, I hope. 400 milligrams, I'll try to get lit if I can. You can't try to stop me. I might analog your son. Oh, yeah. You remind me of an antique floppy. You got me. You wish it could stop me.
Hey, that was Tommion Waylee with our vocals. So let's go to the panel. All right, Spitface, I'm going to start with you. Did Mr. Tommion Waylee redeem himself with our vocals?
I would say this, that redemption is there for those who seek it. I think the album Space Cakes is showing he ain't seeking redemption. And I'm going to say he needs to lay off on, whatever the new stuff they got out that folks be doing illegally, them illegal herbals. And no, I ain't going to say that because it's legal herbals, but them illegal, you need to leave them alone, man. Just leave them alone, Waylee. Now, the other thing is, and I'm going to just say to you this, you never know who's listening to your music. And if you put out crap like that, ain't nobody going to be listening. And if they do listen, somebody going to hear that crap and not listen to you. I am not only hitting the mute button, I'm going to call my friend Old School, and we're going to play this on crap on it. And you're going to need some tissue. You're going to be in a crap situation.
All right, CJ, what do you think of Tommion Waylee? Messing the man's name up. What do you think of his
song? That's a name.
As they say, as my grandmother used to say, bless his heart. He's trying.
He's trying.
He's trying. He's trying to put out a joyful noise to the world. My problem is that our vocals is vocals. We need some. He needs to mute it, raise it, put it back, come back again.
All right. You're going to mute it. Well, yes, I'm going to mute it also. I think we're unanimous about this. Mr. Tommion Waylee, he seems like he's a brother from another planet. But maybe that's where space cakes are, because I'm not sure what type of music that is. I'm even not sure what type of genre you can call his music. But like you said, he's trying. He's trying. So, but anyway, that's the end of shout out. And if you would like to hear more from Mr. Tommion Waylee, which I don't understand, but anyway, you can check him out at Old Grumpy Houston. And if you'd like to be heard or have any comments, you can send your emails and tracks to panties@oldgrumpyradio.com. It is time for the picks. It is time. So let's get to the results of last week's picks. Actually, not last week's picks, but a couple of weeks ago. And let me see. Let's get to those results. So, CJ, you didn't provide any picks, but guess what? You still came in second place because Spitface had 600,000 points, and I'm with minus 150,000 points. So, the current standings as of today, Spitface has 970,000 points. CJ, you're coming in second. This is what I meant, CJ. You're in second place and haven't provided picks in a couple of weeks. You have 145,000 points, and I seem to be going the opposite direction. I have minus 485,000 points. So let's get to our current picks for the NBA. Russell Westbrook will have more steals than James Harden. 150,000 for the correct answer and minus 155 for the incorrect answer. So this is going to be in this week. Russell Westbrook will have more steals than James Harden. I say no. Spitface?
I say no.
CJ?
I say yes.
Okay. The Boston Celtics will rebound and defeat the Bulls. 200,000 for the correct answer, minus 200 for the incorrect answer. I'm assuming they mean to defeat the Bulls for the whole series, and in that aspect, I am going to say yes. Spitface.
No.
CJ.
Pulling for the Bulls.
You say yes?
Pulling
or
for
no,
the Bulls.
You say no, right?
Yeah, the Bulls.
The Boston Celtics will rebound and defeat the Bulls. So your answer is no. The Clippers will defeat the Utah Jazz. 150,000 for the correct answer, minus 200 for the incorrect answer. Spitface, I'll start with you.
No.
I'm going to say yes. CJ?
Going with the Clippers.
You're going to say yes.
The Clippers will win.
The Clippers will win. Milwaukee will upset Toronto. 300,000 for the correct answer, minus 250 for the incorrect answer. I'm going to say yes. CJ?
What did you say?
Milwaukee will upset Toronto. 300,000 for the correct answer, minus 250,000 for the incorrect.
Nope.
You say no. Okay, Spitface?
This is a toughie because I'm sort of like I'm on the fence on this one. But you know what? I'm gonna say no.
Okay. The Grizzlies will win at least 2 games against the Spurs. The Grizzlies will win at least 2 games against the Spurs. Well, 200,000 for the correct answer, minus 400,000 for the incorrect. Well, the Grizzlies already won one game, so they need to win one more game. But guess what? I'm going to say no because it's going to be the Spurs with winning in 5. Spitface?
This is a toughie because the Grizzlies had a moment, and it's like sometimes the Spurs will let a team just get off the hook. Even in the playoffs, they'll just have an unnecessary loss that, for some kind of reason, that they'll just do something like that against a lower seed team when they should have just swept. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go with that the Grizzlies will win another game. They'll have 2 wins.
So you say yes. CJ?
I'm going with Grizzlies. They're going to win.
So you said the Grizzlies will win at least 2 games. Not they're going to win the series. They will win at least 2 games. So you say yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how we do. I mean, I definitely got to start redeeming myself because I definitely won't win the NBA title. All right. Let's get to our outrageous predictions for this week. CJ, what is your outrageous prediction?
The Bulls are going to beat the Celtics.
Okay. Spitface?
My outrageous prediction is that in the NFL draft, the Cleveland Browns have 2 first-round picks. They will not use either one to get a quarterback.
Ooh, that will be really outrageous. Wow. That will be outrageous. My outrageous prediction for this week will be... Actually, I don't have an outrageous prediction, but let me come up with one. I think that... Okay, I have an outrageous prediction. I know this is going to be really outrageous at this point in time. The Indiana Pacers will come back from a 3-0 deficit and beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're going to turn the boat around. That's my outrageous prediction.
You ain't been hanging around with Waylee, have you?
I know, I don't think so. But anyway, I'm a big fan, a real big fan of the series, the TV series Underground. And we all know that Harriet Tubman, the conductor of the Underground Railroad, and for Portia Williams, she's not a real conductor. I just wanted to remind you, she's not a real conductor. Okay? But she had one of the greatest quotes. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach the stars to change the world. That's Mrs. Harriet Tubman. All right, well, please enjoy the poetic performance at the end of the show. This has been Cheryl Smith, CJ and Spitface, and along with Dizzy Mack, you have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
You say you want every girl in the world, that's some wish list idea no one can match it. Just be mindful that every one of 4 of these girls come with a package that you can't re-wrap to give back, kid. I am a poet laureate, yeah, look it up, kid. You can have the heart of a lion in any lyrical battle, but I am the one that they call daddy, look it up, kid. I remain calm as the den, I close the mouths of idiots. Lisa and relentless is synonymous. Decipher my scheme if you dare. I'm plotting to reverse that lyrical curse that you spit in my neighbor's ear. My words are heaven sent. God's scientific spirit sealed this and I deliver it. With no intent to come in at number 1, my God is 3 in 1. I have no problem being numberless. But is your ignorance infinite? Always bragging about the latest rhyme that you spit. I'm a lady. I don't spit, I'm a tsunami. FEMA's still looking for me. And if they ever try to lock me away, I'll just plead temporary insanity and tell them that I see death poets that I try to resurrect in my dreams. I got you thinking that I'm crazy, but you still want me on your team. Because if you're like Kobe of today, then I'm like Mike of the 90s. Go ahead, put up 80 points, boy, I got 6 rings. You can have MVP, I'm a dynasty. I'm that bull in my mouth with the 7th ring. You're that boy they never talk about, you simple-minded little thing. My brain waves are so crazy, I just rub radio frequencies and you still tune in daily. I don't take this here lightly. gravity. I go to sleep with a pen in my hand just in case my thoughts try to jump out the bed, get with it. I'm a huge fan of dreaming, because every night when I'm asleep, God writes on the inside of my eyelids. And the devil tries to eBay my soul, but I wouldn't let him get a bid in. I tell him that it's music tricks up the kids, but call me a silly rabbit. I got all kind of tricky words up my sleeve. That's why I wear long sleeve. I'm a cutter. I slash wrists of poets who don't grip the pen correctly. I shouldn't a doctor. I give verbal hysterectomies. Come across my path and your notebooks go barren, you won't be able to write nothing for a week. While I stay fertile, I procreate words like John and Kate. And if I was a dude, my pen will never shoot blanks. I'm timeless. I'm priceless. It's a crisis that they let me get away with this. I'm timeless. I'm priceless. I should be illegal. Damn, they let me get away with this.